I was in a meeting in one of the northern states, and I'm up there preaching, just preaching, probably 600 people in the room, and all of a sudden, a coven of witches marched in. They didn't come in clandestine. They didn't come in undercover. They marched in and stood around the wall. And the Lord said, "Do you see them?" I said, "Yes." He said, "What are you going to do about that?" And I said, "What are you going to do about it?" He said, "I want you to challenge them." So most time I don't do that in a public meeting, but the Lord said, "I want you to challenge them." I said, "Okay." So I stepped down off the pulpit and I walked over there to him and I said, "Who's the leader?" And this lady was. She said, "I am." And so I said, "All these others." I said, "Now this is your leader." "Yes." I said, "Why are you here?" And she said without any hesitation at all, "We're here to shut down this meeting." I said, "Oh, you are?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Well, you can't do that. This is a meeting that's being conducted by Jesus Christ." And I said, you don't have power to shut it down." And I said to the followers again, I said, "No, this is your leader." "Yes, yes." So here's what I said. I said, "Okay, do whatever you're going to do." I said, "I'm going to tell you right now, you can't hurt me, but I can hurt you." And that's the truth. And so she does all of her stuff. She does her hexing and all this kind of stuff, and I'm still standing. So I said, "Now watch this." I stick my hand out just like this. The power of God hits this girl. She's thrown up into the air and stuck against the wall. Her feet are almost as high as my head. Nothing to hold. She's screaming with an intensity you couldn't believe. She's screaming and just screamed till she's solid blood red in the face. And finally she falls to the floor. She looks like somebody in an epileptic seizure, honestly. She's rolling and frothing like this. And so she finally gets her composure. And so I say to the people that's following her, I said, "Okay, this is the person you're following. You can see she has no power to resist the power of Jesus Christ." Finally, they get her gathered up and they start out the door with her. Just as they're going out, right at the very end of the line, I called a girl's name. I said, "Sarah." And this was this girl's name, a blonde-headed girl. I said, "Sarah, God is going to redeem you from this web you've caught yourself in." And this blonde-headed girl looks back at me, looks straight through me. She didn't come back the next night or the next night. On the third night after that, here she comes. She's not robed up. She's white as a sheet and shaking. I said to her, "Where have you been?" And then I answered my own question. I said, "You've been at a funeral, haven't you?" She said, "Yes." I said, "He was 18 years old. He was in your group and he put a gun in his mouth and blew the back of his head off, didn't he?" And that's what had happened. And she starts screaming, "Can you help me? Can you help me?" And see, she gets delivered from all this bondage. Isn't that see? And I asked that group, I said, "Show me one person in your whole group that has any semblance of peace and joy." See, the devil can't give that. There's a Prince of Peace, Jesus, and He's the author of true joy. See, these people that are into the cult, they don't have joy. They may have a semblance of power, but they have no peace and no joy. Jesus gives both, doesn't He? He gives power, peace, and joy. I'm telling you, isn't it amazing?